Welcome to Shalom Azer and yet again with another episode of Exgetica, Decoding the Scriptural Truth, a journey through God's Word based on biblical research of Mr. T.A. Thomas Aviraji. Today's topic and episode name is You Are the God Who Sees Me. Genesis 16 verses 13. There are many wonderful stories well told in the scriptures, and many characters are vividly portrayed in the Bible for believers to study and emulate. The life and circumstances of these people lived, struggled, and suffered helps the readers and listeners to edify their own lives. Few stories in the scriptures begin with strength, whereas others begin with sorrow. They begin not on the mountaintops or in the cities, but in deserts. I guess you might have got a clue of whom we are going to talk today. The story of Hagar is one such story. Yet, it is not just her story. Most of us will relate to it. Now let's see who Hagar the person was. Hagar is a historical character who lived in this planet between approximately 1930 BC and 1840 BC. According to the resources, it is said that she was an Egyptian princess who came to live in the household of Abraham. There were two encounters of hers with God in her lifetime. Her first encounter is what we are going to talk more deeply today. It's when she ran away after Sarai, her mistress, treated her harshly. God commanded her to return and submit herself to the mistress. She received a strong promise and a covenant from God. She named the place the spring or well where she encountered God, Beer Lahai Roy, meaning the God who sees me. This encounter is recorded in Genesis 16, 6 verse 2, 15. If we observe this, when Hagar faced problems, she chose to escape route. She ran away from the authority who persecuted her. Her pregnancy brought out strong feelings of pride and arrogance. The greatest challenge Hagar faced were brought upon her by the choices of other people. Have you ever felt like that in your own life? Some decisions that is being taken by you, it's not your own choice. And then you struggle? I guess you can relate now to Hagar. How she might have felt. How she might have gone through. Sarai chose her to bear Abraham's child. And Hagar probably had little say in the matter, because she was merely a maidservant in Abraham's household. Hagar was a woman caught in the margins. She was a foreigner tied to a family as a servant to the lady of the house. How many of you feel the same? As a foreigner, you're trying to live because you want to give to some other people also. Have you ever felt that way? She was misunderstood and mistreated. The reality is that she did not choose the circumstances she found herself in. Yet she bore them silently and faithfully until she could no longer continue. When she finally ran, she did not run with a plan. She ran with pain and uncertainty into the wilderness, which was hostile to her. She became a wanderer. To wander is to exist in uncertainty, to live unseen, unheard, and unclaimed. Have you ever felt that way? Do share your comments after this episode. To Hagar, the wilderness was not merely a location. It became the condition of her soul. It was a long pause between where she had been and where she was going. A limited space where her future was as uncertain as the path beneath her feet. Many of us have found ourselves there. Hagar found herself in this position because of the jealousy and the anger of her mistress. Though the whole plan originated with the mistress, jealousy rose up. Hagar was hated, mistreated, and eventually rejected. Unable to escape the situation, she fled while carrying her unborn child. Every woman, whether a homemaker, minister, office worker, nurse, doctor, or serving in any capacity, may at some point find herself in the wilderness. Not because she lacks faith, but because life has pushed her beyond what is familiar. You may find yourself there sometimes, worn, tired, misunderstood, trapped by decisions others made, questioning who you are. It is in that very place Hagar wept. Even we weep sometimes. Hagar's weeping was genuine. It was not performative. It was not done to gain sympathy. It was a kind of pain that has no words. However, her weeping became a turning point, not because of how loudly she cried, but because of who heard her cry. Yes, the Lord has heard your cry. The angel told her. Even more wonderfully, he sees you. In the wilderness, Hagar met a God who did not shame her tears. He received them. He acknowledged her pain, sorrow, rejection, and the injustice she suffered. He provided a great way forward. Yes, God's faithfulness. Hagar's life proves that God is faithful to His plan and promises. Even when human beings complicate the process, Hagar's story is told in such detail so believers can understand God's care and concern for the people. He comes down to help those in despair. He hears the cry of His people. Dear listeners, take heart. When God hears your cry, He sees you. He listens. He makes a way forward. He brings abundant provision into your life. 1 Corinthians 2 verses 9 says, No eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no human mind has conceived what God has prepared for those who love Him. We should understand that divine provision does not always arrive in the form we expect. God's provisions are sometimes unusual because He is a miraculous God. Thank you for joining me for this episode. May the God who saw Hagar in the wilderness remind you today that He sees you, hears your cry, and is already preparing a way forward. In our next episode, I will talk more about what happened in the wilderness. Until next time, may God's word continue to illuminate your heart and strengthen your faith. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful day.